Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV, and we're here for the match preview to Arsenal versus Everton. It's the last game of this season. Thank God for that. So let's see how this plays out. Obviously, for Arsenal, there's still something to be decided, but I think it's pretty much decided anyway. But for Everton, it's definitely all sorted. Elton, how you doing?
I'm very, very well, very well. I went through hell on Thursday night. I don't mind telling you. But it all worked out in the end because we were anticipating at one stage on Thursday night that we would virtually have to go to England to Emirates win. But as I say, it's the most remarkable second half comeback with the support at Goodison Park, the old lady as we call it, was just it was frightening, to be honest. As Patrick Vieira will no doubt testify.
Yeah, obviously with Patrick Vieira, there was definitely. I think for the whole Vieira thing for me, the way I stand with it, is that someone got in his personal space and like if you're abusing him like that, like if man's on the street and you do that to a man on the street, you get knocked down to the floor. Like and Vieira's no, like, I make him right to be honest. I didn't feel I felt that he was right to defend himself in that situation, because that's just not on for me. I'm fully I back him in sort of that. It's not like he like completely went in on him. He just literally just only put him to the floor. Then that was it. Just to get himself sort of away from that situation. But what did you make of it? Oh, hang on. Just unmute yourself.
Right. Well, the Evertonians who surrounded Vieira without actually hitting him was totally out of order, and Patrick Vieira must have felt threatened. He was on his own with about 15,000 Evertonians. And he got his retaliation in first. I don't blame him one little bit. I'd have done the same as you said, what the man of the street do, surrounded by half a dozen, on the face of it, yobbos. No doubt saying very unpleasant things to him, maybe racist, we don't know. And Vieira got his retaliation in first. He kicked one of the guys. Fine. But if you see the conclusion to that little horrible episode, there were about 3 or 4 Evertonians who surrounded Vieira and escorted him off the pitch.
Big up to them.
So, as in all these cases about crowd invasion at the moment, which is a bit of a hot topic, 1 or 2 mindless idiots. Most of the people on the field at Goodison were in celebratory mood. And I think they had every right to do that, but they had no right to target the Crystal Palace manager. None whatsoever. Because let him walk away. But you know what society is like. There was no way that was going to happen. He was he should have headed down the Everton dugout and gone back to their dressing room via a different route. But that's hindsight. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. I hope if there's going to be any action taken over that incident, then it should be Everton should be fined for not controlling their fans, which I also think is absolutely ludicrous. But if Patrick Vieira gets any kind of sanction for lashing out, then that will be totally wrong because he was in the right and fearful. Very, possibly a bit big boy, could look after himself on the pitch. But, he will have felt threatened there.
I absolutely agree. If you feel threatened, you got absolute right to defend yourself. And that's the thing. It's always the 1 or 2 idiots that spoil it for everyone else, and know that they'll probably get stewarding and all that because of it. When like the majority of them, and you said like a few of them came straight over and escorted. Big up to them for actually sorting the issue out and just like getting Vieira away from there. They should definitely get the credit they deserve. And like, it's a shame because it just spoils it. It spoils it for every other fan that was generally in a celebratory mood and just celebrating the fact they've just won themselves like this and won themselves safety and their Premier League status for next season, and knowing that they can go into this game that is coming up with Arsenal, knowing that they don't have to try and win the game to get absolute top points. A big up, Sait, my regular panelist. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good, Stephen. How you doing? Hello, Elton.
No worries. Yeah, we got a problem with the some feedback in a minute, so we're just managing it. So, but yeah, I'll come to you, Sait, as you just come in. Going into for this game coming up, Arsenal, like, there's still the possibility that Arsenal could still end up getting top four, but we'd need a favour from Norwich. Like, if, and I've said it, I made a very good line saying it already in some other shows that I've been on, or some other shows that I've been in the chat in. If we can't, if we need a favour from Norwich to get into the Champions League, we should be nowhere near the Champions League in the first place. Right? Is that something you agree with?
I don't know. For me, at the end of the day, the teams that get top four after 38 games deserve to get Champions League. If Spurs decides to Spurs it and not turn up against Norwich, then they don't deserve to be in Champions League either. But if I'm honest, I can't see that happening. I think they'll beat Norwich quite comfortable. I think I can see them win 3-4-0. I think we are most likely going to win, not because that I think that we are so much better than Everton right now, more because of they just played on Thursday. They must have celebrated all night, the anticlimax, and to just go on and play again on Sunday, travel up to London. They're probably quite tired. They've been playing a lot of games, a lot of emotional games for the past few weeks, and I think they might be leggy whilst we have a more energy. But maybe a 2-1 Arsenal. I can see win. We're playing at home
We'll
last
get to
game.
that. We'll get to that to the
Ah,
end.
yeah, sorry, but
Um,
yeah, I can't see Norwich win against Spurs. I just can't see it.
yeah, I'll ask Elton from an Everton point of view. I mean, with Arsenal, obviously they're still hoping that they can do something, and hopefully Spurs can do what they usually do. But do you see it from your point of view? Do you see Arsenal possibly getting it at all? Are you on mute? You on mute, by the way. Just trying to manage the feedback.
To the
There you go.
Champions League, win the game on Sunday.
Yeah, we get Champions. Right. Uh, if Spurs lose and we win, we get in the Champions League. So Spurs have to lose to Norwich, and we have to beat Everton.
Are you asking me whether I think you will achieve Champions League status, or whether you'll just win the game on Sunday? I wasn't sure which you asked me.
I'm asking, do you think Arsenal will still be able to get top four by beating Everton and Norwich, doing us a favour, or do you feel that that's all? There's no chance of Arsenal getting it.
No chance at all of Arsenal getting the top four. I kind of say before, your audience is thinking, oh, five Everton, you five scouts, blah, blah, blah. I had some wonderful, wonderful times at Highbury when David Dean was there and George Graham. Fabulous. And the highlight of my career was when you won 2-0 at Anfield in '89. That really was. Partly, I suppose, because I'm an Evertonian and I thought it was very funny. But also, it was just the most dramatic of matches that you could possibly imagine. They say the City game where Aguero scored after winning goal 3-2 was the greatest ever finish in top flight football. It wasn't. Arsenal winning 2-0 at Liverpool, because that was mission impossible. It couldn't happen, but it did. So I have nothing against Arsenal other than fond memories. But to the present, to the point you're asking, Spurs will win at Norwich, that was no doubt. If Everton hadn't, as you're pointing out too, if Everton hadn't such an arduous and emotionally draining experience on Thursday, which had a happy ending, I would have fancied Everton to win at the Emirates, simply because I've seen the last two games at Spurs and at Newcastle, and I thought Arsenal were little short of disgrace, considering what was at stake. I thought they were shocking. The spirit in the camp is non-existent. The individuals who often start for Arsenal didn't turn up. I don't know what the coach, my dear friend Mikel Arteta, was doing or what he was thinking. There were two awful performances. And I'm not just saying that because I'm on here. If we go back 30 years and I was fronting it for ITV, I would have said exactly the same. Not acceptable, those two performances. And I think knowing the likelihood of Champions League football on Sunday is very, very slim. Possibly non-existent.
Yeah.
I would have thought Everton would have taken Arsenal quite comfortably. My friend, I don't know what emotional state Everton will be in on Sunday. I don't care now, you know. I don't care. Yeah, will I watch it? Probably. But there again, if the other three games, you know, City, Liverpool, there looks to be an upset in that one, I might watch that because whether we win, lose, draw, whatever at the Emirates, it doesn't make any difference to our season or our summer because Frank Lampard will have already determined the players he will keep, wants to keep, and the areas that he will need to improve. You know, so it's and also the other way of looking at it, it's a free hit for us. We can go there without any pressure, and our players can, if you like, what few individual players we have, skill and technique, they could go and express themselves and not worry about conceding, losing the ball, conceding a goal. That's the way I see it. In other words, I used to be indecisive now, but I don't know who's going to turn up. I will be astonished if Arsenal put in a barnstorming performance, because if they do, then what the fuck were they doing at Spurs and at Newcastle? What were they doing?
I mean, exactly. I'll make this point to you now. Like it's always Arsenal. Is that like they've gone and played Man United and won, they've gone and played Chelsea and won, right? And managed to keep going on the record of looking like they could do it. But when it comes to those key games, those big key games, right, going forward, bottle jobs. And just like last season, the key game, Villarreal, right? We only needed to score one goal to get to the Europa League the Europa League final. One goal. What did Arteta do? Bottled it, right? And I've literally now, right? Because I know Norwich are going to lose to Spurs, right? I live local to Norwich, right? Trust me, they ain't getting anything from Spurs, right? Spurs will get it. Will get top four, even if they get a point, right? So, if that's the case, then right, and we end up in Europa League, the amount of chances this manager's had to get top four and secure it, any club top manager, elite manager, would have got us it. He's bottled it. He's bottled it on so many occasions, and what I've got planned, I have literally got the run I have played on the match reaction to that Villarreal game. I've clipped it and I'm going to play it, right, and release it after the Everton game, right? Because after the Everton game, I'm going to release it and literally say to all you lot, exactly the same as last year, hasn't changed a bit, right? this is why I say Arsenal are still not improved, especially mentality-wise, because when it comes to those pressure games, he bottles it. And that's why he's not as good of a manager. Right? Alexander Hilton spent more than Pep. Right? He's pretty much nearly spent as much as Klopp has. Right? And Klopp's been there for 6 bloody years. His percentage record, over 30% losses. Ain't good enough. 500 mil spent and 5th place is overachieved. Yeah, right. You're telling me I'm overachieving after spending 500 mil. Well, 250 mil spent on this manager, and you're telling me I'm overachieving. Right, it ain't good enough. Right, like exactly. He took off Aubameyang. That's exactly what I meant. Trust me, I've got that plan. I want to ask though, with Lampard, what did you make of him and like him coming into the club? What have you Have you been impressed with him? Some fans have, some fans haven't. But he's obviously secured you that he made you safe. It looked like that Everton could have been going down. So yeah, what did you make of his time at Everton and going forward?
Well, when he was appointed, which was on the last day of the transfer window, that tells you something about Everton, doesn't it? It was a choice between him and the Portuguese chappie Pereira, who has no track record whatsoever. And Evertonians did not want Pereira under any circumstances. So they were happy with Frank on that basis. I think they'd have been happier had the shortlist been slightly more, but it wasn't. But since, and this is the point, Frank has done a remarkable job. He had a huge, an awful lot to repair. What was under Benitez was just absolutely, it was awful. It should never have happened, but it did because we got an idiot for an owner. I believe you know him, Farhad Moshiri. And he appointed Moshiri, no one else. Appointed.
Sorry, by the way, I'll just mention as well, Conkeys as well.
Okay, buddy. Okay, fine. I don't know him. As I say, yeah, I thought Arsenal was brilliantly run when David Dean was there. So there you go. Anyway, yeah, so Frank had a huge repair job to do. He had to repair so much. Most of all, the alienation with the fans. Now, what he has done in his way, he's galvanized the fans. And the Everton fans in the last, let's say, 6 weeks have been absolutely incredible. I mean, you've never seen or heard anything like it. For a team that's battling for relegation, battling against relegation, so let's say, as opposed to winning the EFL Cup, the FA Cup, most likely the Champions League, those sort of people, you know, who are plastic Liverpool fans, you know, because they're successful. We stick by our club because it's a crap club at the moment. Historically, it's wonderful, but it's a club that it's a religion. It's life to so many people, and the Evertonians bought into that and said, right, we've got to prevent our club from going into the Championship. And boy, have they done it. They've been more important than the players, because it was the players who got us into this situation. But under Benitez, there was no chance that those players could have turned their form individually and collectively around. No chance. But under Frank, they have one of your ex-players. I don't know whether he was popular at the Emirates or what. Alex Iwobi. He has been transformed. I mean, transformed. He is my player of the season. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. Player of the year, because we didn't have a player of any note in 2021. But since Frank's come in, Iwobi has been transformed. I don't know what he's on. I wouldn't mind some of it. Never mind Liverpool being on inhalers. Iwobi's on nothing there. He just runs and runs his heart out from start to finish. He starts just in front of Seamus Coleman at right back every time. This is just in front of Seamus Coleman at right back, and then he goes and does his thing, and he ends up just in front of Seamus Coleman at his right back.
I think I'll say with what I said. Sorry, I just want to say with Iwobi. I didn't want to obviously stop you, but with Iwobi, what the problem with Arsenal with Iwobi is that he could run for ages. Like I said, he could run his heart out absolutely, and he was the only one that actually gave it looked like he gave a crap in the Europa League final, and he actually scored a goal. He was the only one who scored in that, and he was subbed. And but the problem was the final ball, and that's probably what cost him his place at Arsenal. Is that his final ball was just not good enough. Yeah, sometimes he just couldn't cross the road. So that's why we sold him on for the amount of money we did. But yeah, he definitely puts 100. I mean, do you remember Iwobi at the club? He definitely put 100% in when he was on the pitch.
Yeah, I remember when he played for us. I always used to say, like, why doesn't he play one step down? Because he has the strength, he has the legs, he has the lungs.
Like wing
He's
back.
quite technical as well, but he didn't have the end product. And for me, like, he wasn't good enough to play as a winger, but I wouldn't mind him playing a step down, which he's doing now for Everton, and you can see the best of him because now it's not about him having an end product. It's about him using his strength, his legs, his lungs, and it's been very good for them. And I'm happy for him because he's a very humble guy. He's never said anything bad about anyone. He's not controversial. He always gives everything, and it's good to see that even though he's had a hard time at Everton, he didn't give up. He still had the mentality. He still had the courage to try and turn his form, and he's done it. So I'm happy for him.
I mean, exactly. I'll just go for some of the comments as well. Because obviously, James obviously is a regular and also a member here. Fans over the weeks have been sensational. Going to Park and whenever we go away from home. I've been a huge critic of Iwobi, but since Lampard has come in, he's been playing. I think at one point he was actually playing wing back for Everton. Iwobi's attitude is first class. It's just consistency. That's the thing at Arsenal. It's just his consistency. His attitude was in the right place, but his consistency was not good enough. Colonel Ward, I did see that contract. I just seen it now. That's mad. 4 million a month. Like that's why the ESL is going to happen, mate. Trust me. Don't think any player, if true, should be allowed. I don't think it's 300. Is it 300? Is it 300? I don't know. But yeah, it's mad. But that's why the ESL will happen at some point. But obviously, with our I mean Arsenal. I mean, so how would you sort of sum up the season really? Like,
For Arsenal,
yeah,
I think up until January, I think we had a quite good season. We were well on top four. We went on to the semi-final in the Carabao Cup. It looked back then like we had actually fixed the defense. We were keeping a lot of clean sheets. We weren't losing a lot of games. And then after that, you can tell from January up until now, we've been poor. We lost to Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup, which was embarrassing. We lost to Everton, we lost to Man United, we lost to Southampton, Bright. I mean, I forgot how many games we've lost from January up until now. We probably lost 70-80% of our games during the most important period of the season. And for me, it's three main things: is the manager, or for me, sorry, it's the owners, because there's no ambition from the owners.
yeah,
They have
exactly.
allowed this manager to do whatever he wants. They didn't try and strengthen the squad in January. Instead, they weakened the squad. And if you make your squad weaker, how can you then expect your team to become better? I mean, is it just me who is stupid, or does that make any sense? Why would you make your squad weaken and expect it to perform better? The teams that have improved their squads, like Everton, like Liverpool, like Tottenham, they have all been better since they've done that. And you can see the results. The teams like Man U and Arsenal, who weakened their squad, have fallen down. And I just think it's fair. If you don't have any ambition, if you don't try to improve your situation, then you shouldn't be rewarded. So for us, I think the past few months has been a disgrace. Yes, we've had injuries, but every team gets injury. It's nothing new for me as an Arsenal fan to see us have injuries. We know that Tierney is injury prone. He's been injury prone before he joined us. He's been injury prone since he's been here. Thomas Partey has been injury prone. These things happened to every club, but we decided to make sure that we didn't have any replacement, and that is why we've been poor. Poor tactics, again from the manager. He had the opportunity. If he just won against, one of the Crystal Palace, Southampton, Brighton, Newcastle, like these are not teams that we should lose to. And we lost to all four of them. That's 12 points that we lost. If we would have just won one or two of those games, we would have secured Champions League and it would have been a whole nother season. But if there is no pressure from the top, because they are happy with Europa League, they don't want to invest. There's nothing from the board. It's nothing from the fans. This is what will happen because at the
Exactly.
end of the day, if Steven employs me to his channel and I ask him
I did.
what is my what is the goals, and he says, don't worry, just go on, I don't care about views, you just go on and have fun, I won't feel any pressure. I'll just go
Mm.
on whenever I want to. But if he tells me, you know what, every week you need to make sure the channel brings in 10,000 views or I'll sack you, I'll do my best to get those views because I know that if I don't, I'll
Still not
get
getting a
sacked.
Gucci bag.
And for Conte, he didn't settle. He wanted more, he demanded more, and
Mm.
he got better players, and it's helped them. And for
Uh,
me,
mm.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with the whole owner situation. Like, as much as we keep saying about Arteta in, Arteta out, Arteta in, Arteta out, it's exactly what with Wenger in, Wenger out. And look who took no liability or responsibility. The owners. The owners never got any flack. They never got any criticism. They reaped the rewards, they reaped the money in, they reaped the like yeah, everyone still bought the tickets. They still bought the merch. They still spent on the food and the drink, right, in the stadium. They literally spent all their money, right, supporting this club while fighting about Arteta in, Arteta out, not actually looking at the proper problem, which is the owners. People say you get rid of the manager, you might actually target the owners, but yeah, we already tried that with Wenger. It didn't work. If you These owners aren't going anywhere, but if you demand more, like you said with Liverpool, they demanded more. That's why they got top four in their first season. That's why they would end up challenging for the Champions League in the third season. Then in the fourth season they won it. Right? So that's why they've been like the way they are and the way they are now. Because their fans won't accept anything less. Our fans are sitting there and they're saying fifth. Even if we finish fifth, it's we've overachieved. Well, I'm sorry, no. In the situation we've been in, no, that's not overachieving, right? And actually, no, Arsenal finishing fifth is not overachieving. Arsenal used to compete for the league titles, right? That's the standard I set. That's the standard I grew up on. So why am I going to lower my standard saying we overachieved, right? When Arsenal should be up there, right? The manager just said himself, right, in the last press conference, we should be challenging for titles in this. Well, why are you fucking around with this? Because you're not good enough. Simple. Like, simple as that. But again,
yes,
like
because again, the owners doesn't want us to
they don't want
win
the
big
ambition.
titles.
They don't want the ambition to have a elite manager because they know they'd be put under the pressure not just by fans but by the manager to get what he wants.
Yeah, they've built a very smart structure. So they've made sure that Arsenal buy young players that are likable, and they make sure that Arsenal promote youngsters from the academic. So fans will be like, "Oh, this is our own," and you feel some kind of attachment to them because they come from Arsenal, and then they give these players higher status than what they actually deserve. So you give Saka number 7, you will give Smith Rowe a number 10, you give Martinelli 11, you will give Odegaard the number 8, and then fans will be like, "Oh, our own players are wearing these big numbers, which means that they are superstars." So everything else would be like, yeah, but they're young. So if you say that, but we should be challenging, the response would be, but we have young players. But you don't ask yourself, why do we only have young players?
Mm.
Who made these decisions? And it's the club. That's the structure they
I
want,
mean,
because it's very hard to dislike young players who comes from your academic. Instead, you will support them and you will back them no matter
mm,
what, and then you will just go and buy the new merch. So every season,
I
oh,
mean,
they'll do these cute videos with these youngsters wearing these shirts,
yeah.
promote it, and it's
I
all
mean,
PR.
we could go on about the Conkeys for ages. I mean, absolutely. I don't really want to go too far and not onto that. So, I'll ask I'll ask you, Elton. Like with your owners, like, I think from what I'm hearing from Everton fans, they're putting a lot of the situation that they've been in this season blame onto the owners. Do you think there's going to be any added pressure for them to be able to maybe support Frank and give him the tools he needs to be able to progress further up the table and not be in this situation again? And just before you answer, just go through the last of these comments that I've got here. Craig, I know, mate. The question was on the poll. Yep. Kroenke said he didn't come to Arsenal to win trophies. This is exactly what he said when he first turned up, mate. I think it's failed season, despite we have had good periods. Why we improved? Why would you give Arteta a new deal where you're not guaranteed top four? But then you said like he's done well. He's done a good job this season though. Like, yeah, right. So, and that was before he fucked it up. So yeah. Anyway, Elton, that question to you. Do you feel that like the owners are now gonna have to step up and support Frank and make sure this situation Everton have found themselves in doesn't happen again?
Well, first of all, I would have to say what will be success next season? Maybe the EFL Cup. That's a bit of a long shot. Halfway will be a massive
FA Cup?
improvement. Well, a cup then. Let's say a cup. That would be nice, but we're not a good side. So there needs to be wholesale changes in the summer. We probably need 3-4 transfer windows to maybe be around Europa League, let's say. It's going to take that long. It really is. As for the owners backing Frank, the owner, Mashiri, if he doesn't, he will be well advised to stay away from Goodison Park. Full stop. He's not
Yeah,
popular.
I gather that. Obviously, it's mad to say because obviously, I'll go to James first. Obviously, he's a comment. He's a member of the channel. Obviously, if you want to be a member of the channel, please do hit the join button below, and you get exclusive perks like priority read out in comments. You also get higher levels. You'll get early access to videos like the one I've got coming out at the end of the season. So make sure you do join it, and it all goes to Children's Liberties Foundation. So please do, if you've got a spare $1.99 or $4.99 or even an $8.99, please do check out those levels and do hit that join button. It really will mean a lot. Same as the super chat. Just like any donation would be so grateful from myself and the charity. It is mad to say because Arteta finished 8th last season, that 5th is being classed as a achievement, but it is an improvement, so I have to give him that. I agree with the first part. The second part about saying it's an improvement, I would disagree with, and the reason I say this is because our record is more, might have a couple more wins, but we've had more defeats, more goals conceded, right? Worse goal difference. I don't think we scored. I think we scored less goals as well, right? And we've improved by 5 points. Now, Man United finished second last season. They've fallen from grace. Leicester have fallen from grace, right? And the other team that was above us was West Ham, and they've fallen down below us. So where does that put us from 8th to 5th, right? If you took Spurs down, if we actually stayed on the record we were going at and we got top 4, that would have been Spurs that have come down a level as well. That means 4 teams that have above us, that have had worse seasons, are now finished behind us. So that puts us 4th on the same record that we had last season. So I'm sorry, 4th place or 5th place. Yes, it might say that in the table, but we've improved by basically 5 points, but more goals conceded and more defeats. Right? That's not. If you call that after spending 250 mil on improvement, right? Then I'm sorry, like you're in the wrong sport. Like
But for me,
that's
Steven,
not an improvement for me. So
for
I'll just
me,
get
I
to the
think
rest of the. I'll just get to the rest of the comments, mate, and I'll just quit. I'll get your opinion. I'll just gotta get through the rest of these. Having a competent owner doesn't help the club. Yeah, definitely. I take a mid-table seat and a cup one where it's yes. You want some this. Please still shut up. Good to know he's supporting Aberdeen. Who supports Luke? He's just said you. Like that's what he's put Luca. Like
it's quite clear.
could be worse. It could be Man United. Yeah, you go on. You were
Yeah,
gonna say.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I just wanna clarify two things.
Mm.
Yes, it's an improvement from finishing 8th to 5th. That's an
You're supposed to
improvement.
be on my
But
side here.
no, just wait. But for me, you have to look at it. Was it a good enough improvement? And it's definitely not an overachievement. For me, an overachievement would have been Arsenal finishing third and winning the
Competing for the league.
FA Cup and winning the not even like I'm not deluded. We weren't gonna go from
Yeah.
finishing 8th to competing with Liverpool and Man
I'm
City.
just saying that's the overachievement, wasn't it? So
Yeah, but for me, if we would have finished third, for example, and we would have won the League Cup and the FA Cup, I would have said, yeah, that was an overachievement. Well done. Let's continue to work on that. But finishing 5th can never be an overachievement for Arsenal Football Club. It is an improvement from 8th, but it's not a good enough improvement as well. I think
there used to
you
be
can,
days in Arsenal's history that if you got 5th, you got sacked.
yeah. I mean, for me, like,
That's the
I
standard we
always,
used to have.
listen, I always say this, Stephen, like, every club goes through different cycles, and sometimes you have a
Mm.
down cycle, and it's normal. It's happened to Man U, it's happened to Liverpool, it's happened to every successful club, even the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid. It's fine. But for me, when you are in your down cycle, you can't stay there for too long, and each season you have to try and improve. So when we finished 8th on the first season of Arteta, second season we should have finished 5th. Third season we should have been in the top 4. That has not happened. And for me, it's like, if you can't take Arsenal to become a Champions League team when you had a few games left and you were 4 points ahead of your competitor who you were going to play against, then for me, you have made an improvement from 8, but you failed with the end goal, because the end goal should have been Champions League, and we didn't get into the Champions League. And it wasn't a case of Man United had 80 points, Chelsea had 85 points, and they just had better team than us. No, we just needed to win against either Newcastle or Southampton or Brighton or Crystal Palace, or even draw against Spurs. And we couldn't do that. And because we couldn't do that, I can't look at the season as something that is good enough. And I want a manager who overachieves, because Arsenal, for us to win titles back in the days, we had to overachieve, because Man United was always outspending us. Before that, Liverpool were outspending us. So overachievement is winning when you don't spend the most. Overachievement isn't going from 8th to 5th.
Yeah, I mean, like James makes it clear. If Chelsea were fifth, the manager would have been sacked. Exactly. Like I remember when Andre Villas-Boas was fifth, he got a right kicking in the ass by Abramovich, and then he was eventually sacked. And then Di Matteo led them to fifth in the Champions League, which knocked off it back then. Which knocked it knocked Spurs into the Europa League, which was funny as fuck. Yeah, why is Arteta saying we have overachieving seriously? Finished twice. I don't know why you're listening to him, mate. If you are Arteta out, I don't know why you listen to him, because he talks whatever little bollocks all the time. That's why I don't listen to him. Like, because he actually said what pretty much what Lee Gunner's been saying all the time, is that our standards is be winning titles. So why aren't you keeping to that standard then? I even said Lee is listening to you, mate. Like, finished eighth twice when Emmy was in charge. Sorry, I shouldn't mention. I was a big up Lee Gunner, obviously. He's always supported this channel all the time. Was in charge his first season. In his first season, we finished fifth, and Emery leaves during to finish eighth. Okay, all right. James Hartbrook staying well, done for staying up. Will Everton be able to write off the debt without their Russian owner? See, I was thought, yeah. Elton, I wanted to actually bring this up. Actually, there's your Russian owners actually could have been Arsenal's owner actually, right? Usmanov, as we all know, had a load of shares in Arsenal, and made an attempt to buy the club from Conky, which we all know he was never going to sell, because obviously we saw what happened in the Super League, right? So he tried his best to buy Arsenal, and he said he would have wanted to improve us and take us further. I believed him, actually, to be honest.
But then you look at what he's done for Everton, so you gotta say you're quite happy he didn't
yeah,
manage to
that
do
does warm me up a bit. But like, I'll ask you, Elton. I mean, are you worried that like there could be legal action coming their way for Usmanov? Because like Chelsea have had legal action with Abramovich, right? But a lot of people don't get why is it Chelsea are getting punished for that, and other teams have got Russians, like even Bournemouth, yourselves, and other teams are not getting punished.
Right, we haven't got a Russian owner. Bashiri is Iranian. He is a business partner, or is pal of Ushmanov. Ushmanov sponsors our training ground. There is no chance whatsoever that Ushmanov will become a shareholder, albeit minor or major, in Everton Football Club. That I can guarantee you. This is
not now.
Ushmanov, to all intents and purposes, has got nothing to do with us now. And what's more, the fans never wanted him in the first place.
Yeah, right. Stephen, isn't it that Everton are getting deducted points maybe because of the broken financial fair plays rather than the links to Usmanov?
Really? Right.
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
No. The accusations have been made most recently by Burnley and Leeds, and for obvious reasons, that we broke financial fair play. But it's all accountable. You know, it is. We have gone over what we more than we should have lost, let's say, But if you do it over a period, sort of break it down,
3 years, I believe.
then we've come under the threshold for 3 years. When you take into account that we subsidise the ladies' team, the work in the community, etc.
Stadium.
It will be very hard if Everton got any kind of sanction for, financial fair play or the lack of it.
Yeah, I'll quickly explain it. I mean, I think it's over 3 years. You can spread the costs on it. Like, I remember when they signed. You remember when PSG signed Neymar back in 2017. A lot of people said that was sort of the spark of the ESL. I say it was even longer than that, to be honest. But that was the real transfer that sparked it. Someone could buy someone for 220 fucking million pound. And what did the PSG do? Did they just say on that? No. They then spent 180 mil on Mbappe, which made it 400 mil in the transfer window. All of a sudden, the old powers were like. So what's that documentary on BBC about the how it all transpired, because and how Real Madrid and Barcelona ended up in so much debt because they had to keep up with PSG, and their spending. So 400 million on those players, that was going to smash fair player rules out of the water. But PSG said, we're not buying in Pepe. We're paying for it now, but we're not getting the player until next season, which then means it comes under fair play, right? Because they've had the deal done, but it won't come until the next season. But why is that acceptable for them? But for Everton, who are struggling with relegation, right? Why? It's kind of like how. I do F1 channel as well, right? And this weekend, there's a team that's copied. For example, you can copy the exterior of someone's car, right? Because you can see outline and not get any inside information on how to do it, yeah? And how to build it. So you don't get inside information on how to build the car. That means you're allowed to copy it, right? So one team who's actually been qualified this afternoon in the bottom bottom 5 of the grid, yeah? They copied someone who's at the front of the grid of their car. And they've already done that once with Mercedes, right? That team that they copied from has now gone and protested against them, saying they can't do it. So why are you having a go at them when they are at the bottom of the frigging pile, right? It's like, UEFA, why are you having a go at Everton when they're at the bottom of the pile and they need it to stay alive, like to stay alive in the Premier League, like really doesn't make sense, but when it comes to these big rich teams, that PSG, Man City, the reason we don't have a problem with financial fair play in fucking Europe is because Man City, right, have been caught twice in with the cookie with the hand in the cookie jar, right? For instance,
Steven,
and they
you
have
do
not
want to
been
get cancelled.
punished.
I feel like every stream now you do everything to get cancelled.
Oh no, but I'm just calling out bullshit, man.
Nah, I know, but for me, yeah, to be honest, yeah, for me, I think the
Especially
FFP is
when
just
Arsenal won everything like clockwork. They
yeah,
won
but
everything like clockwork.
yeah, but for me, FFP is just a bluff, and I'm gonna tell you why it is a bluff because financial fair play rules has never been implemented practically. Because if it did, it would have meant that before every summer window, UEFA will tell each team this is the amount that you can spend, and if you spend over that, we won't allow you to register that player that you bought. But why is it that you can break the rule so you can spend more than you're not supposed to, and then the punishment will be, oh, we will give you a fine. So what's the fine to Chelsea? What's the fine to Man City? What's the fine to PSG? It means nothing because at the end of the day, UEFA want these teams to buy these superstars because it brings in more views, which means more sponsorship and more money into their own pocket. They don't really care about rules or fair play. Nobody cares about that. And I think we've seen so many examples where we can show that they don't actually care. And they can make an example of Everton because Everton doesn't have the superpowers or the super players like Chelsea or Man City or Barcelona or Real Madrid have. But at the end of the day, I won't be surprised if nothing happens to Everton as well because money talks. And if you just pay off the right people, you usually end up fine.
Yeah. Just quickly writing this in. Uh, Big up Static, always keeping it best um mod on YouTube by a mile. Are you right? Corruptions, yeah, corruption, mate. Credit show, keep out all the bursts. Why do you think what do you think we will get in the summer? Much we we're in Europa League pretty much. That doesn't really make sense. You saying what we'll get in the summer? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I don't know. But look, I mean, going to the game itself. So Everton probably are just probably relieved that they're staying up, right? So I mean, how do you think this game's going to go for you, Elton? What do you see? What do you think you're going to see out of this game?
Well, I haven't got much to add to what I said earlier because I don't know. It's the first non-pressure game Everton have played this year, so I don't know how they will react. I know Frank will obviously be G'ing them up beforehand. We'll have a tremendous. We'll outsing you on Sunday. There'll be 7,000 Evertonians there. They've set the bar so high now. They will be determined to enhance their reputation at the Emirates as being the noisiest and most supportive crowd, certainly in traveling fans. Now, if the players respond to that and say, we're safe, we're okay, but come on, let's give these guys, the supporters, a good afternoon at the Emirates. That could happen. Frank will certainly be saying that to them before the match. That I can guarantee you 100%. But whether they have the energy, the mental application after going through what they went through on Thursday night, I mean, don't forget, after 45 minutes, on the face of it, we were as good as relegated. Mathematically not the case, but emotionally and all that. I know I felt the same. Half. We're stuffed here. We can't afford Leeds to get anything at Brentford, sort of thing. But then second half, I mean, it was supercharged. It really was. It was something very, very special.
Yeah, especially with Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are.
Kind of galvanize the people further, the players and what have you. Or whether they do feel now, well, we've done our job. We'll get the flip flops on, book our holidays, and it doesn't really matter what happens at the Emirates. It doesn't. It matters to you though. But from what I've seen of your team, I don't think they believe that Norwich will beat Tottenham. Therefore, whatever you do against Everton doesn't really matter. But I mean, looking at your team and the way they played at Spurs and at Newcastle, it wouldn't surprise me at all if that was their attitude like that. Well, we gave it our best shot up until about a month ago. It doesn't matter now. Tottenham are going to win at Norwich. I can't give you a definitive answer. I can't because there are a couple of sort of underlying things which we won't know until the game kicks off at 4:00. We'll get an idea in the first 5 minutes of what the attitude of the two teams are.
Exactly. I mean, it. Oh, sorry. I thought you'd finished.
On Sunday, listen. You never know. Stranger things have happened in football than Norwich beating Spurs. I cast your mind back to Everton 2, Watford 5 this season. Watford, look at them. 5-2 at our place.
Yeah, you
Admittedly, that
beat
was
Man United like 4-1 or something like that.
when Benitez.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
gonna.
don't. I can't. I say that there is. It seems to me to be a mental game on Sunday as much as anything else. Whose mentality will be stronger than the other, and for what reason? I don't know.
Well, that means it's definitely. If that's the case, then we're fucked. Especially with our mentality. Say,
Yeah.
how do you think? Like, we got to try and at least win and just hope.
Yeah, I think we are lucky that Everton doesn't have to win the game, and I think we are lucky that they played on Thursday. And as I said before, I'm sure they must have been partying and celebrating on Thursday because it was
I
such a
mean, part of me is like, do I bother doing watching? I mean, like it's last game of the season. We fucked it already. Spurs ain't gonna win. Spurs are gonna
so.
win.
I
Right?
think
So
it's
what's or
maybe
get a point? What's the point?
watch Man City or Liverpool game. They'll probably be more interesting to watch, honestly. But for me, yeah, the players they have to go out there and they just have to win and for the fans who keep on going to the games, it's the last home game. They deserve to finish the season with a win. Do I personally really care? No. Do I think that Norwich is gonna get something from Spurs? No, I don't think so. I think Spurs is gonna win
Even
quite
if they get a
comfortably.
point, it's not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough. I think Spurs is gonna win 3 or 4 nil against Norwich. If I'm
I
serious.
mean, Dan, keep over for a miracle. You only got yourselves to black, mate. Trust
No,
me.
nobody
Go.
here hopes
Do you
for
know what,
miracle.
Dan?
Nobody here is
Hang
blaming
on.
anyone. Like we know the reality. We know that it's the manager, the players, the owners.
Well, trust me, Dan. Like, we're probably the last Arsenal fans you can tell that to. I mean, go to there's many other channels, like other channels are available. We all know who they are. Go fucking tell that to them because like I know you keep it real here. We all keep it real as well, but go tell it to them because they're fucking deluded. They're probably thinking that miracle's gonna happen. Like, but it
Yes.
ain't. Like sometimes it happens once, it may happen twice, but it won't happen a third time. Fool me once, right, all for you. Fool me twice, all for me. That sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
So
I don't believe it, honestly.
those
I
yeah, they don't deserve it yet, but they'll get one. They'll go, oh, well done, you've given it such a good go. Yes, we missed out, but well done for trying because it's all about trying, you know? It's all about trying, right? Doing your best, and if you can't do well, then, like, at least you tried your best. No, it's about fucking winning, mate, right? 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 Do that for your maths exam or anything like that, but when it comes to football, right? You win trophies. It's about winning, right? It's about winning, right? As I keep saying, I'll compare it to F1. You don't see 20 drivers going out there saying, I'm only going to just try my best. They're like, no, I'm winning. End of. Like, sorry, arrogance. Like, you got to have that arrogance, right? If you don't, then you ain't got the mentality to win games. You ain't got the mentality to win games, you shouldn't be in football. Right? I'm sorry. I'm fed up with this. Oh, we tried, though, and we got fifth. No. Get it. Fucking get it.
yeah,
Especially when you're doing it over your rivals.
and even like even if we would have gotten fourth, like it's still not winning the title. It's still not enough. It would have just
Mm.
been a step
Yeah,
towards where we need to go to. But it's like I can promise you, if Arsenal would have gotten fourth, the celebration would have been like we've won the
the
Champions
Champions League.
League,
Yeah,
Premier
yeah,
League, FA Cup, and the
we won the
League Cup.
quadruple. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and that's the problem today. Like, uh, the mentality for me is just wrong.
shocking. It's
It is
shocking.
shocking, and
Anyway, I'm gonna quickly give the ARSEVE score predictions quickly, and we're just gonna run it, and then we'll end the stream. So, I couldn't do the live calling afterwards, but I couldn't do it Thursday, and I'm actually packed today because I've got some other shows to do. So, I'm gonna start with you, Craig. What do you think the score's gonna be? What do you think score's going to be?
Oh, right. Oh, gosh. I was thinking about it. I'll go, for the hell of it, I'll go 2-1 Everton. And it's, you know, I'm hoping that the Everton of the second half start the game on Sunday. If that's the case against your lot, I think we'll win 2-1. If they don't, I think you'll win 2-1. But 2-1 Everton, I'm not hedging. No, 2-1 Everton. There you go.
Yeah. There's no divine right to win. Though, yeah, like, but you should have that no, it's not saying it's the right to win, but you should have that arrogance saying, no, we should be getting top 4. It's not good enough. Like,
Yeah.
and if we don't get top 4, it's a failure. Simple.
You have to believe in sports. If Leicester didn't believe, they wouldn't have won the Premier League.
Say quickly, what's your score going to be?
I think 2-1 Arsenal. I think we'll scrap a boring 2-1 shaky win. But I don't think it will make any changes anyway. It's gonna be one of the meaningless end of game of the season, and then, as I said, I'm not watching Arsenal in the Europa League next season.
Yeah, I'm tempted to, so I can't do Thursday evenings. I'll see how I feel on Thursday evenings, but there you go. I'm gonna go with. Do you know what? I see us drawing 0-0. I see us drawing 0-0. Like, because they won't give a toss. Like, Xhaka, don't come out and say that you've been trying and everyone else ain't. You're just as shit as the rest of them. There are players that are out there that have been better than you, so shut your mouth. Right, you're lucky you're still here. Right.
But that's on the manager and the club for allowing this. Yeah, go on.
Just, I know we're heading towards the end there. Everton will score. That I promise you. So I'm afraid you're 0-0, Steve. It doesn't cut it with me.
1-1 then.
Everton, you will need to score more than Everton to win the game. I wouldn't rule out a draw, but it won't be a no-score draw. Everton will score.
I'll go 1-1 then. I just thought it's going to be a draw.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Okay. If Europa League final, you can't watch.
I can watch whatever I want. I am in charge of my own life and my own decisions.
Fine. Like,
if Arsenal gets into the Europa League final and I want to watch it, I'll watch it. If I don't
if we're in the Europa League, I'm gonna have to just make a choice whether to do watch-alongs, right, and tire myself out doing that again like I did last season. Right, no, I got infusions the day in the morning, which knocked me out, right? Or I'd either do that and put my full self all that crap again for this effing club, right? That give me fuck all, right? And don't aim for anything, or I just sit at home, or I just do, actually just don't bother with the stream. Just do a match reaction afterwards, right? And watch the game afterwards. You know?
Yeah.
So
for me, I'm not gonna take my time to watch the group stage. Honestly, I couldn't be bothered.
1-1. I say 1-1, but you know what? Do you know what? Arsenal got that funny feeling of just turning up when it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore. So, you know what? 3-1. I've changed my mind. 3-1. 3-1. Because they'll turn up. Because it doesn't matter. It don't matter. So, there you go. Won't be it. Yeah. Definitely, mate. Cheers. But yeah, big up. Top man, see you all soon. Big up, everyone. That's contributing in the chat. I've had a fair few people in today, so big up to everyone. We're live also at 7. The poll said, has our season been a failure? 76% said yes, 24% saying no. I love an explanation from anyone who said 24%. Yeah, we're going to leave it there. Got half the pressure at 7. prediction show at 9 for all the games. So make sure you tune into that. If you tune in the chat, you can take part as well, or you can come on the panel. It's up to you. But yeah, we're gonna leave it there. Elton, where can they find you? Thank you very much for coming on.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Epic. So I mean, like, obviously, sorry everyone about the feedback problems, but we've tried to manage it as best we can, and I think it's not been too bad actually. So there you go. So Sait, where can they find you, mate?
I disagree. It's been terrible, Stephen. Man, it's not good enough.
Fuck you.
Where's
Do
the
you know what?
mentality?
It shuts up. My
You
mentality.
always
My
demand
mentality.
the best, Stephen.
Mate, I'm
Like,
the man in
I'm
leagues,
not
man.
having it.
Shut up.
I'm not having it.
No. You saying Arteta was doing a good job at one point. Come on. Like, and I'm sitting there saying, no. Like, you try to get behind the team. I was like, no, I'm not having it. Like, come on.
Well, I'm just fair. When the team plays well, I say it. When they play shit, I say
I know,
shit.
I'm just
And
fucking
I
with
don't
you
care.
now.
But your channel's been shit today, and I'm gonna say it. Nah, I'm joking, guys. You can
Well,
always find me
once,
here on
yeah.
SFeatleyTV. It's been a pleasure. It was nice to have a chat with Elton as well. Proper guy.
Yeah, definite. And I'll tell you what, like, at least I found another way to try and get cancelled today.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing.
Trust me, I might in the new version of the league. I must be in the new version of the league. Honestly, try and find ways to get cancelled. Anyway,
Yeah.
like, the people can try. They ain't gonna work. Anyway, make sure you do hit the like, share, and subscribe. Do hit the join button for $1.99. From as little as $1.99, you can join the membership. As well as any super chats or super stickers afterwards. You can also donate a super chat and after, or a donation after the stream. So even better. So do that. It all goes to Children's Liver Disease Foundation. Right. So yeah, great show. I'll tell you about. Big up. And we'll see you again soon. Until